Hello everyone. Let me begin the session by wishing you a very happy new year. In this video, we are going to look at the 2023 predictions for Aquarius moon or Kumbha Rashi. For evaluating or for arriving at the 2023 predictions, we are going to look at three things. One is the Saturn transit, the other is the Jupiter transit, and the third is the Rahu Ketu transit. For those who may not be all that familiar with the Indian system of astrology, Rahu and Ketu are shadow planets. They are very powerful. Saturn takes approximately 2.5 years to cross a particular Rashi or a house. Jupiter takes approximately 1 year, while Rahu and Ketu take approximately 1.5 years. These planets spend a longer time in a particular house or Rashi, and hence they get an opportunity to go deep and cause a bigger impact, relatively speaking, compared to all other planets like Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, and Mercury. So the planets like Moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, they change their position pretty fast. Hence, the opportunity for them to cause longer impact is relatively lower, right? So if you look at the situation, January 17th is when the first transit is happening. And here, Saturn is going to change over from 12th position to the first position. 17 January 2023. Okay. Saturn is going to come and Jupiter is going to change over on 23rd April 2023 from second house to the third house, right? See, the arrival of Saturn to the first house is known as Janma Sani, right? That is the middle part of the 7.5 cycle, 7.5 year cycle, 2.5 in 12, 2.5 in first, and 2.5 in the second house. That is why it is called as 7.5, right? So this is the middle part. Saturn, if I were to give a couple of words to explain Saturn, I will say one is dark, second is slow, and third is this is the planet of karma, the planet of cause and action, right? And it is also a planet that kind of restricts. Restricted is a key word, for Saturn. So when Saturn comes to the first house, right, the darkness kind of affects your mind, right? That's the first thing that it hits. Because it is slow, it affects the digestion, right? Please note that Saturn, because moon is already here, right? Which is why you are called as Aquarius moon. Moon denotes food in Vedic astrology or Indian astrology, and the arrival of Saturn will kind of delay the digestion process, right? So if you are experiencing constipation and digestion related issues of late, you know whom to look at, right? Or you know whom to kind of blame, right? So Saturn's arrival is what is triggering, because Saturn, even before coming to the first house, it starts showing uh, kind of a trailer to the movie, from November itself, right? It's not like Saturn needs to wait until 17 January 2023, right? From uh, from November itself, you would have started to see the trailer of the movie, right? Some snapshots of what is going to come, right? Saturn currently, I am recording this video on what? Today is 29th, right? So Saturn is currently 28 degrees. Okay, 29th of December is when I am recording this. Saturn is currently 28 degrees, in Capricorn. So it will traverse another 2 degrees and move into Aquarius or Kumbha Rashi on 17th Jan 23. So as I said, you could feel a bit low. Okay, your confidence may be low. You may feel slightly pessimistic. All those things are due to the arrival of Saturn to the first house, right? Slow digestion is another thing I mentioned. Okay. The other important aspect of Janmasani, the middle part of Saturn is new karmas will get created. What are new karmas, right? New actions and reactions for it, right? How will new karmas get created? New karmas get created through people, right? I'm sure that new people have already entered your lives, okay, in the last 2 months. Go back and look at your life. Starting November or even starting October, have new people, new situations, new business, new entities arrived in your life, right? Start observing, because you are going to affect them and they are going to affect you. That is how karmas will get created, right? Those people may do good to you, may do bad to you, right? It may be a man, it may be a woman, okay? That depends on your horoscope, right? The strength of your horoscope, right? But new people definitely would have entered, and if they have not, I'm sure they will enter in a few days or few months, right? Because new karmas can get created only through people entering, new situations emerging, right? So please keep that in mind. So one way of new people entering is birth of a child, right? Getting married, getting into a new relationship. Your, let's say your children getting married, right? So new family enters your life, right? The girl's family enters your life. That is also karma, right? Let's say you join a new office, you're meeting new people. Or let's say you're a student in the 12th grade or 12th standard, you're going to enter the college, you're going to meet new set of people. That is also new karma, no? So that is Janmasani for you, okay? The characteristic of Janmasani is new opportunities will come into your life, okay? New opportunities. At the same time, you will also feel stressful. These are the two things that are characteristic of the first house Sunny, right? First house Saturn, okay? That's what Aquarius people are going to experience, right? Don't say no to new opportunities, okay? I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is evaluate them. If new people come, evaluate, are they going to do good to you? Are they going to do bad to you, right? If you choose people who are going to do bad to you, you're responsible for your actions. You're not a kid, right? I'm sure the people who are seeing this video or listening to this video are fairly matured people, right? You know good and bad in your life. It's not that I have to tell you. So you can decide for yourself rather well whether the particular situation, whether the particular people entering your life, they are going to do good to you or not going to do good to you, right? I'm sure we all will have elements of surprise, right? That is going to be there, but that's not going to be the majority, right? We have gut feel, right? So new opportunities, because you have to be cautious, doesn't mean that you have to let go of opportunities. No, I'm not saying that, right? So it's a period of new opportunities and a period of stress. That's how Janmasani is going to be. In fact, another point I want to highlight is during Janmasani only, or during the first house Saturn, many people have taken up, numero uno positions. That is the topmost positions in organizations and even country level positions, right? The number one position available in an organization, number one position available, in a government, right? Or in a country leadership. People have accepted or people have taken up those positions only during first house Saturn, right? How is that happening? It is because of new opportunities, right? An individual takes up, a CEO job. It's a new opportunity, new karma. It is during this Janmasani or the first house Saturn that people get married also, right? Many times it happens. Please note that stress will be a key aspect of first house Saturn, because Saturn is a dark planet and it darkness will kind of engulf your mind. Very high chances that you feel bit down, bit pessimistic, feel that world is not fair, right? Hang on, this too shall pass, right? So that's what I want to tell primarily about the Saturn, right? Jupiter is going from 2 to 3. While restrict is the word for Saturn, expand is the key word for Rahu. Sorry, Jupiter. Expand is the key word for Jupiter. From third house, Jupiter is going to aspect the ninth house of Bhagya or luck, right? Jupiter will also aspect the 11th house of gains, expand gains. From third house will also aspect the seventh house, right? Please note, this is actually a blessing in disguise because from first house, Sunny will cast its aspect on the seventh house. That is not good, no. Saturn's aspect is always considered bad. Saturn's aspect on seventh house is not considered good because seventh house is the house of spouse and partnerships. But the negative effect of Saturn's aspect on seventh house is nullified by Jupiter's aspect on seventh house. So the bad of Saturn on seventh is nullified or cancelled by the good of Jupiter on seventh. So please keep that in your mind, right? So 2023 is going to be a mixed bag. But how is Rahu and Ketu looking? Rahu is coming to the second house and Ketu is coming to the eighth house, right? So this can be a bit challenging, right? Because Rahu acts like Saturn, okay? So Rahu, will kind of influence your speech. Be careful about what you speak, okay? Could also impact your family relationships, right? Because Rahu is the planet of Maya, the illusion, right? Rahu is the planet of grandeur, whereas in reality, Rahu is not grandeur, right? Gives an illusion of grandeur. So you need to watch out for those things. So Rahu and Ketu is kind of a bit dicey, right? So in all, what can you expect in 2023? New opportunities, stress, right? I think that's going to be the key aspect of 2023. One remedy you all can do is do some exercise, take up some sport, okay? You must walk, and if possible, do some annadan, okay? That is feeding the needy with food, okay? Feeding the needy with food is a wonderful remedy for Saturn. So that's the prognosis for 2023, right? Now, coming to this particular part of the video, what I've covered thus far is generic predictions. What I'm going to do now is bring in some element of specificity into the predictions. How am I going to do that? I'm going to consider, are there any planets in your first house, right? So what I'm coming to is the transit Saturn will work with natal planets, that is planets that are already there in your horoscope at the time of your birth, right? That's your natal horoscope, right? If there are planets in your first house, transit Saturn will work with, combine with, and deliver some special effects, right? Or what are called as combination effects, or you can also call them as interaction effects, right? Basically, two planets are interacting, two planets are combining and giving you the effects. What are those effects going to be? Let's start with Jupiter Venus. If Jupiter Venus is there here, it's going to be a period of significant material gain. This is going to be a 5-star period, okay? I said it's going to be a period. Generic prediction is what? Stress and new opportunities, right? But when Jupiter Venus is there, significant material gain will also be there. New opportunities will come, significant material gain, probably through profession. At the same time, stress will also be there. That's how you take prediction, right? As such, Jupiter in first house is very good, no? Jupiter in first house is Digbala, directional strength. It's closer to its own house. Venus is closer to its exaltation point. Venus is the lord of fourth and ninth. So it's going to be a period of bumper harvest. Please note that an exalted planet alone is not strong. A planet that is closer to exaltation. This is Venus exaltation point. So Venus is closer to exaltation, right? So a planet closer to exaltation is equally strong. Please keep this in your mind, right? So you can expect strong positive results, Jupiter Venus. Such people may not feel much stress at all, right? That's how it is. Now let's go to the next planet. If Mercury is here, transit Saturn will interact with natal Mercury and help you with new trade business, new export import business, new startup ventures, new agency business. You can also thrive in those areas, not just starting new business. Okay. At the same time, you need to watch your speech, not just what you speak, but also what you communicate through digital mediums like WhatsApp message and other forms of messages, right? Because when Mercury is there, transit Saturn will influence Mercury and cause some communication issues. The other party may misunderstand what you're trying to say. Okay, let's say you have to send a WhatsApp message to person A. By mistake, you may end up sending to person B, or you may not use the right set of words. So the other party misunderstands, right? Whether the sending WhatsApp message to the wrong person, is it a simple issue or a very big issue? It depends on your natal chart, right? So watch what you speak if your Mercury is in the first house, right? If Saturn is there, okay, change, significant change. However, the changeover process from something to something else, right? That will be challenging. That is the effect of Saturn on Saturn. Because what is happening here? Transit Saturn plus natal Saturn. That's what is happening here, right? Look at the butterfly here. Butterfly is flying. Probably this is an enjoyable phase for the butterfly, right? But very recently it was an insect, no? So the changeover process from insect to the flying, butterfly, the changeover would not have been easy, no? That's the kind of change you're going to experience. Maybe it's a new job, maybe it is retirement, maybe it is something else, right? But significant change. Another thing I want to tell you is if natal Saturn, if Saturn is here, in the first house, what does it mean? You are probably in your 30, 60, or 90 years of age. How am I saying it? Or closer to this number, okay? It need not be exactly this number. How am I saying a planet, Saturn takes 2.5 years to cross one Rashi or one house or one sign. There are 12 signs, 12 Rashis, 12 houses, right? So 2.5 into 12 is 30. That is how I am saying it, right? Let's go to the next one. If there are Rahu, Ketu, or Mars, the next one that we are going to see is Sun. If one or more of these planets are there in your first house, Rahu and Ketu cannot be together. Okay, please note. They are 180 degrees apart. If Rahu is in 1, Ketu is in 7. Right? That's how it will be. If any one of these planets is in the first house, natal Saturn will interact with these set of planets and give rather difficult and challenging results. Please note that this is not a good one. Why? Ketu as such behaves like Mars, Rahu behaves like Saturn. The saying is Kujavat Ketu, right? That's what we say, right? So Ketu behaves like Mars and Rahu behaves like Saturn. If Mars is there, you can expect fights, sometimes physical, sometimes even mental fights. If Ketu is there, you can expect some break and then change over. If Rahu is there, Rahu is darkness, Saturn is darkness. So it is like double darkness, or what I call pitch dark. Let's say you have to do an important work and it's pitch dark. What will happen? You will make some mistakes, no? Let's say you're cooking food in pitch dark. Instead of salt, you may put something very spicy. Yes or no? Right? So that's how the results will be, right? If the food is not good, at least you can skip it. You can probably have water and then move on, right? On the other hand, if it is an important work and you make a costly mistake, you have to pay the price, whatever may be the price, right? So this is how things will manifest, right? And If there is Sun, I mentioned Sun is also problematic. Why did I say? Because Saturn considers Sun and Mars as the number one enemy. If let's say you are in a room with your number one enemy, how will you feel? Will you feel happy? Obviously, no, right? You will feel angry. You may even be waiting to, let out a few words, angry words. So the environment won't be peaceful or cordial, right? That's how Saturn will feel. How can Saturn can give good results if Saturn is in the presence of its enemies, right? So Sun will cause ego clash with superiors, higher officers, father, government entities. At the same time, Saturn plus Sun can also help you give promotion in job, right? Government job. All those things are possibilities, right? So what I covered in the first half of the video is generic prediction. Second half of the video, I've tried to bring some specific insights. If your question is, I don't have any planets in the first house, how will things be? So whatever I covered in the second part of the video may not be all that applicable. That's all I'm trying to say, right? So 2023 will be a year of new opportunities. I wish you very good opportunities, positive opportunities, successful opportunities to enter your life. Happy New Year once again. Thank you.